so today I'm filming a really exciting video for you guys, and it's my foundation routine. This foundation routine, and it's the foundation routine I was wearing in my last video where I said it's pretty glowy, and I used some of those new products that I did show you. So I told you I'd make the video, and here it is. So here's my summer kind of foundation routine. It's a really glowy look, but it's really good for combination skin because it controls your oil still, but you can still look you can still look glowy without looking oily, and yeah, it's the best of both worlds in my book. But yeah, this is just how I do it and how I apply everything, and also using those new products that y'all wanted to see. So if y'all want to see my summer glowy foundation routine for combination oily skin, then go ahead and keep watching. So I already primed my face. I used my Professional just all around my face, and I do have a little bit of eye makeup on just to get that out of the way. And so what I like to do is either mix my foundation with an illuminizer, and I've been liking this one from Becca and Moonstone, and so I'll just use whatever foundation I think I need that day. Like if I need more coverage, I'll use my Kat Von D. If I want something that will mix very good, I'll use my Cover FX drops. And if I want a more matte look, if I feel really oily, I'll use my Pro Matte foundation. Today I think I'm just going to be using my Cover FX drops just to show you how good they do mix with other things. I'm looking right here. This is where I have my little mirror set up. But yeah, so what I like to do is take whatever foundation I'm using that day. Like I said, I already primed my face, and I'll take it by itself without the illuminizer because I don't want to get oily in these specific spots because I am oily. So I'll just take whatever foundation I'm using. So I'm going to take the drops, and I'll put a little bit on my hand, just a tiny bit. Then I'll take my beauty blender. This is my favorite way to apply any kind of foundation. And then I'll just place this on my nose where I get the most oily. And I don't want that illuminizer right there because it will just exaggerate my oil. So when my oils do come out, it kind of evens out with the rest of my skin because the rest of my skin will be a little bit more dewy. And then I'll take some right here in the center of my forehead, just because that's where I get oily as well. So basically just in my T-zone, I'll take that little pump of foundation. And this Cover FX drops actually act really good on their own, so you don't have to mix them with anything. It's just really good. It's just a really good product to use if you do want to mix stuff. But I just take that all on my nose. Basically my nose. Y'all know my nose gets really oily. And then that's basically what I first do. Then I'll take my Becca Moonstone highlight, like I said, and I'll pump one pump of this on my hand. So it's about that much. And nothing's coming out. I'm like running out of this. 2, 3, 4. I usually just eyeball it and see what the like little pump looks like. I don't really count. But if I'm just using a regular foundation, what I'll do is just add one pump. And then I'll go ahead and mix it in with my fingers. And as you can see, it gives that foundation quite a bit of glow, and it's a very sheer coverage too. And then I'll just tap whatever I have on my finger onto my face. And then once I get on there, I'll go ahead and blend it in. That's pretty much it for my base. And as you can see, it's a very sheer coverage, but it still covers what you want with still giving you that glow. And I'll just go over with my clean side of my beauty blender and just blend out right here because that's where I tend to get my like laugh lines. And I have some creasing. Then after this step, I'll go ahead and go on to contouring and highlighting. And so I've really been loving these contour sticks by Smashbox. They're my favorite, and they actually make it really fast. You think it would take some time to do this, but it actually is really quick. And so I've really been liking it. And so I'll take the bronze shade first, just to warm up the skin. And I use quite a bit of this. I think I need to sharpen it. It's already pretty much gone. But I'll just take it and I'll just place it like on the sides of my cheeks. And I'll have to do it in steps basically because this does kind of set pretty quickly, and so you don't want to draw all over your face first and then blend it out. You want to just go ahead and blend it as you place it. And I just like taking it on this Real Techniques contour brush. See, as you can see, it's already starting to set, and I'll just buff it into my skin. And as you can see, it just gives you a really nice kind of tan shade, and it helps me blend in with my neck as well. And so I really like this shade. And then I'll just take some on my forehead. I don't really do it neatly or anything, and I'll just blend it in all the way into my hairline. And if it's not blending like that little spot right there, I'll just go ahead and go back in with my beauty blender and blend it out. And then I'll just take some more, place where I need more. And to me, it just looks really natural. It doesn't look like you put any powder or anything. It just looks like your skin. Sorry, guys. So yeah, it's just really good if you want to use all cream products and you don't want to use any powders on your face. So then I like to take the contour shade, which is my favorite stick of them all. It's just a really pretty cool tone medium brown shade. And I'll just suck in my cheeks. And I'll just draw on a line like that. Then what I'll do is I'll take my e.l.f. stippling brush. I really like this for this. And I'll just blend it out. And it just gives you a really nice contour. And as you can see, these blend really nicely. And I just love them. But you do use quite a bit of product, and I could see myself running out of them very quickly, so that's what kind of sucks about them. And I do go over this with powder, and you think, oh wait, that's too much, but it will take too long. But once you go over with powder, you only need to go over a little bit because the base is already there, and it's actually pretty quick, and it just helps it last all day. So that's why I do it. Sometimes I'll just keep it like this if I don't really want it to last that long, or if I'm not really doing anything. Then I'll take this contour stick once again, and I'll just kind of contour my nose. Nothing specific, I just like to warm it up a little bit, like so. And I'll take my e.l.f. stippling brush once again and just blend that out. I'll make sure to go over everything with my beauty blender first, just to make sure everything's set. Then I'll take the highlight shade and I'll just clean up under here. So I'll just draw some lines to make sure everything's really sharp, or as sharp as I want and nice and cleaned up. And I also make sure that everything's even. Then I'll go in with like my beauty blender and just clean it up. Just blend that in. And just make sure it's nice and blended. And it just gives you a really nice, like kind of natural glowy look. And I'll also take that highlight and clean up my nose a little bit, just in case some of the brown went inside the middle of my nose. And I'll just blend that in with my beauty blender. And I totally forgot my concealer, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. It's okay because I was planning on doing it last anyway, so I could set it right away. So I'll just take my Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. This is my favorite right now, and I have it in light warm. And I'll just take this under my eyes. Sometimes I'll do this before I contour and highlight. Sometimes I'll do it after just so I could set it right away. It just really depends on what I'm feeling that day. And I'll take a little bit in between my eyebrows, a little bit down my nose, and on my chin. It's just because sometimes I like to do it before I contour, just in case it like blends over there, but it's fine. And then I'll just blend that in with my beauty blender into that like triangle shape. And this just kind of evens out the forehead so it doesn't look too dark. I can't stand when my lips have foundation. Then I'll go ahead and set my under eyes, and I've really been loving this Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder, and it just smooths it out and actually adds quite a bit of glow, and it just looks really nice after you set it with this. So I've really been liking this. And I'll take it with my e.l.f. Setting brush, or actually it's called an e.l.f. blush brush, but I use it for setting under my eyes. And I'll take a little bit of that powder and I'll tap off quite a bit. Then I'll take my beauty blender and make sure that I got all those lines before I set it. And then I'll just go in and set right after. And I'll bring it down here too, so it gives me that glow. And it just looks so smooth and nice. And I'll just kind of buff it right here into my pores. And that is pretty much it. Just go ahead and do the other eye. And that's pretty much it for that. And usually what I'll do to set the rest of my face is I'll take my Maybelline Fit Me powder, the matte and poreless. I don't even think I have it with me right now. And I'll set like this part of my face, but since my skin has been a little bit on the drier side, what I'll do is take the same powder that I used under my eyes and the same brush, and I'll just take a little bit, not even that much at all, and just kind of go over those spots. So in the center of my forehead, a little bit on my nose, and mainly right here on my laugh lines where I tend to crease a lot. And that's pretty much all I do to set my foundation. And if you really do want to set it, you could go ahead and set it, and you could stop right here. You don't have to go in with any more powders or anything, and this could be your like kind of natural look. I like to go over it with some more powders and just to glow it up a little bit. And I actually forgot a really important step was to add more highlight. Now that I'm looking at my skin, I totally messed that up. And I already set my foundation, but I'm just gonna show y'all anyway. Hopefully it still looks good. What I'll do is take my highlighter and I'll just apply it. And this is that liquid highlighter that we mixed with the foundation. And I'll just apply it where I want more highlight. So I'll apply it to the top of my brows just to give you that kind of wet look. On the top of my cheekbones, on my cupid's bow, and a little bit on my chin. Then also right here on the top of my nose, not the bottom, because that's where I get oily. And then I'll just take my beauty blender and blend that in. And that actually did really good on top of powder. I can't believe I forgot that step. This is a glowy look. And I'll just blend that in, just to give us more of that glow. Since this did get mixed with foundation, it didn't have its full potential of glowiness, so I like to go over it just one more time. Just to add that glow. Then I'll go over everything with the powder. So what I like to do for bronzing up the face is take my Makeup Forever Pro Sculpting Duo in number 2, which is really, really pretty. It's a warm brown with a golden highlight. And what I'll actually do is I'll mix both of them with this fluffy brush. I'll just go ahead and just swirl my brush in there to make sure I get both highlight and both bronzer. And I'll just go everywhere where we did with the bronze stick. So I'm basically just warming up my face with this. And like I said, it's just really fast because you're just going over that base that you have there already. So it's really quick and you don't really have to think about where you're actually placing it, because either way it's gonna look good because of that base. And it's also adding that glow because you're mixing it with the highlight, and it looks a little bit more glowy and natural instead of so powdery. But you're still kind of setting your face in case you do get oily. Then I'll go ahead and go in with my contour shade, and I'm still using my contour kit for this just because it's basically the only one that works with me. But if I go a little bit too heavy-handed, it can look like I have bruises on my face. So you just want to go really light-handed with this. And so what I'll do is just take those two shades right here, the coolest tone and then a little bit warmer tone, and just contour. So I'm going to use Flaunt by lorac, and it's just a really pretty fuchsia glowy blush, I cannot say that. And yeah, I'm just going to use that for today. Then I'll take the other side and just blend it out. And for highlights, since I did use Moonstone liquid, I'm actually going to use my Makeup Forever one just to add a little bit different dimension in there. And yeah, I just really love this highlight, and especially when I'm tan and it's kind of more of a bronzy summery look, so I really like this one. And I'll just take that on my e.l.f. blush brush once again and just dip that only into that highlight and just go over top of where we put the liquid highlight. Then some on the Cupid's bow. Then on the top of my nose, I love highlighting right here. It just brings the whole look together. And then the top of my eyebrows, just a little bit. And that is pretty much my glowy routine. And then I'll go ahead and set everything. Let me go ahead and use some hand sanitizer first. So I'm going to go ahead and take my Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray, and I'll just shake that up and spray it all over, just so to get rid of any of that excess powder, because you do not want to look powdery, you want to look glowy. And yeah, it will also help with my oil. So just lather yourself in that. Really love this stuff. And it also helps last really long. And yeah, that's pretty much it for my foundation routine. And just to finish off the look, I'll add some lip balm. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll probably have some slow-mos of the finished look after this clip. And yeah,